make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of January 10th.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Make a motion to approve non-public meeting minutes number 1 and number 2 of January 10th.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second. Anything to add, Michael?
No.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody online?
Just someone named Brian Rogers.
All right, public input, Brian Rogers. Is he muted by himself or did you
Nope.
mute him?
No input.
No input, that's a first.
Hey, that hurt my one feeling.
All right, we're here blessed by the DiLuzio family. We appreciate you coming in. Thank you. So this was in reaction to the newspaper article which came out after we. Yeah. And we understand that the things have been resolved. Great.
Yeah, in 24 hours and, yeah, so that's pretty much, I don't know if you, I talked to Mike, I don't know if you shared any background with them or not.
Yeah, a little bit. You could probably do it more effectively, but I don't know.
Just give a little background, the 20 and 21 taxes were on delay because of everything COVID, all the death issues and everything. And we've been working with the IRS for several months with them, and we were actually surprised at the notices. We found out when a gentleman from Radnock Speedway, who we haven't serviced in 45 years, called us. So, Dad, I just got one of these notices. And so actually, when you have an enrolled agent, they're supposed to notify the enrolled agent and us before notices go out. So
What is that?
the enrolled agent, it's kind of like a tax attorney.
Bob Hamill is an enrolled agent. Bob worked for the IRS for 37 years. He's in Manchester. So if you retire from the IRS, because of your background, you can become a registered enrolled agent. Now you're working for the consumer, not from the IRS, but because of your background, you can help people with tax issues and what have you. Bob has been an excellent advocate. However, he has now introduced us to Dr. Spade over in Northampton, who is above Bob's level. He's like a tax attorney. He has been in this business for a long, I don't know, many years. And he has a PhD, he's a doctor, and he teaches tax law at Harvard. He is outstanding. And if you Google him and look up, in the United States, he is one of the top 100 tax consultants. And he is just unbelievable. He finds little quirky things that you would never ever think of. And because of our tax issue of not filing on time, 20 and 21, Linda's bilateral surgery being laying in place, not working, me being quarantined because of COVID, my myasthenia gravis, 2 months in the house, then not able to walk, falling downstairs, going to Cheshire 3 times a week to learn to walk again. Just things were a nightmare. So they got behind, and they had an illness. And so they could not take on any extra cases or what have you. So she completed our returns and then said, I can't go any further. So all these things came together. And so the IRS says, well, wait a minute, we've got some real serious problems here. So that we had been working with them since August, and things were pretty well set and quieted down. We have a new accountant. We're working on the 20s and 21s and getting everything together that they asked for. We had it all together. And all of a sudden, we get a call from this gentleman from the Radnock Speedway, and he said, you know why we got a levy from the IRS on you for your ambulance service? And I said, I don't even know what you're talking about. He said, well, you haven't covered Radnock Speedway for X number of years. And he said, you know, I think maybe some others have got levies. So I immediately called Bob Hamill. He immediately called the agent down, actually in New York. She has an office in Nashville, but she actually works out of her home in New York. And she told him, well, we sent levies to, we had information furnished to us that said that everything should be levied because they haven't filed the taxes. Therefore, you should take all the funding they can get from everybody who provides the ambulance service. And so Bob Hamill says, no, that's not right. So they went down the list, and of course, Swanzey and the towns where we cover, They even sent levies out to towns that we don't cover. That are, because we're Keene's backup, so they said, no, in case you come into our town, they sent a levy to the city of Keene. We've never received a penny from the city of Keene, so these things got a little bit out of control. So that's why we got referred to Dr. Richard, taking care of us. And then he started some research and said, how did someone get a list of these people? Someone had to have a list because this is not right. There's names on here that you don't cover. That there are places such as Manhattan Speedway where you haven't been in years. So someone had to have access to your records to what have you. So he called Doc, we call him Doc Richard. And so he called the regional supervisor of IRS and said, what's going on? He said, well, we were furnished this list. So these are people we need to go after. So he told them the background. And within 24 hours, every levy was released. Our agreement with the IRS is still in place. And right now we're golden. There'll be a tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it should be a
Press release tomorrow. Yeah, it explains this. And it'll clearly tell you that the IRS exonerated, there's no levies. We're still there every day. So that's, I didn't mean to monopolize the conversation, but.
We're glad you did.
You had the information.
That's the 50,000 summary. So we're still operational, didn't affect our operations. As soon as we said, in fact, our deputy chief, DiLuzio, was here last time we met. He got in the car, I mean, I think he came and stopped, saw Mike and he stopped, saw the chief. So we could get word out to everybody, like, hey, just so you know, we're still coming, you know, so. And we've had a great response. I've spoken, I think now with either every fire chief or town administrator manager of anybody that we serve, and there's been no issues, no problems. There's a few of them have given statements to send all about, yeah, you know, we're good with DiLuzio, so. I don't know if someone called you guys there or not, but.
Yeah, I spoke to Rick Green today.
Did you? Yeah.
Said the same thing, so.
So, that's kind of where we're at.
Good news.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know if you guys have any specific
Congratulations.
questions, but that's.
Ken, you probably have some specific tax questions for them, right?
Anybody online have any questions? Brian?
Yeah, Bob, I think that's great news. Thank you. I mean, hate to see that happen. Is there gonna be, just for, polyoptics, right? Unfortunately, things that are out there, whether they're factual or not, or tend to be believed. Is there gonna be some kind of a retraction or some kind of a public statement in the paper or something that kind of clears you of this? Because it's done some damage. I'm sure you know that, so. Over.
Right, Brian. Yeah, there is going to be an article in tomorrow's paper. We have a PR person that is working for the Sentinel, and there will be a notice that was furnished to us from the IRS for publication that tells our status with the IRS and that we're in good standing with the IRS and all levies have been retracted. And that actually we had an apology that they did not follow some areas, but everything has been retracted and we're in good shape. Good.
Yeah, I think that's good news, Bob. I hate to see this happen to you. It's really unfortunate. I'd be certainly curious as to who leaked your customer information, but that's way inappropriate. But Swanzey's been a partner of yours for a long time, one of the originals, I believe, and we're glad to still be in that seat. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you for all your support over the years, Brian. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for
Should
your
we come back
support.
for the snacks at 7?
Sure. Which day do you want to come in? We'll have them ready for you.
Great, thank you. guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Good help.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
We're never here.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you, Chief. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
You're very welcome.
What's next, Michael?
Annual report. I provided a couple kind of snapshots. We wanted to highlight the community power project that got approved by the voters this year. Obviously, it's timely with the cost of electricity. So it's a good thing we were on that and got that approved. So I gave you a couple of different options. I know which one I like, but I'd be curious or which one I think you guys would like, maybe.
Where's the coal plant?
That's reflected by the bag of money slide.
Oh, okay.
Or I know we have dams, so I kind of like the one, even though we don't have hydro dams. I thought the hydro dam one was kind of cool, but so just a couple options. Make sure you're generally okay with that idea, unless you guys had something else in mind. But I thought this was an innovative idea, and like I said, it was timely with the community power, and then obviously the electricity prices that will help.
So whichever one is selected, can you send us a color version
Yes,
so we can see the
Did-
contrast?
yes. Did you? I think it was color in this. Was it color in the scan or no?
Yeah, it was colored in the scan.
Okay.
Okay, so when I printed it out, it came out black and white. That's my point.
Gotcha. So I can do that too, but
Should we have any like an arrow or kind of to show the flow from left to right?
yeah, between
Have
each one or
Purchase the power, deliver the power to equals kind of.
good idea. Maybe an arrow or a plus and then an equals. or-
Yeah, something like that.
Sure, good idea.
And I know my recent bill. Holy,
Let's do a copy of that on the front of the annual report.
oh my,
Bill's bill.
I'm
You get over
still
two,
stunned.
you get over 200.
Almost three. Literally, almost three, 276. I'd never been, I don't think I'd ever been to 200. Never mind over it.
I'll unplug the hot tub every now and then.
I can't do that. No, actually, we used to have the hot tub plugged in and
And
it wasn't,
Oh, okay.
it's insane. We haven't used the hot tub in, well, I don't use it, but we haven't, she has for 2 years.
Careful, Bill, we're on tape here.
But realistically, it's unbelievable. Oh my God, careful. But seriously, almost $300. My brother pays that in Florida and he runs air conditioning all year long, almost all year long,
Power's a lot less expensive there, so
I guess.
once the community power's in, your bill's gonna be cut in half. I'm just kidding. But it's gonna save some money. Yeah, no, definitely not, but it's gonna help.
She doesn't live here.
That's right. Is Chesterfield on the community power?
Yeah.
Oh geez, you gotta get on that.
What's your pleasure? Anybody have a preference?
Should the utility company be the plug or should it be like wires or something?
Or dollar signs?
We got the bag of money here.
That's a distribution. That's not that much of it.
Yeah, good point. I mean, the plug, I guess, takes from the wire, but yeah, we could have maybe a,
Power lines or
Power line,
something. Or even a utility worker up on the line. The old woman,
Get out.
Rockwell.
get out the ladder truck,
Yeah.
the bucket truck.
That's the problem when you offer 3 choices.
They come up with something different.
I like the first one.
It'll be at least colorful with the dams.
We we could each, Ken might like the second one, slide the third. You and Beverly can be the deciding vote.
My vote was for the dam, but just because we have the dams and we also had a dam project that got approved also, so
I noticed that you put it on the front.
you're lucky I gave you the other two. So see if we can find a decent power line picture to replace the plug and go with the dam.
Yeah.
Work for you, boss?
Sure. All right. What's next?
Just kind of a last chance to look at the MS 636, the budget, and then the warrant after the budget hearing. Otherwise, we'll plan to have it finalized for signing next week and then posting for the deliberative session.
We didn't have any petition warrant articles.
We did not. We were spared that excitement this year.
Anybody have any comments or questions?
Sure Ken's marveling at the 6 pages compared to like 10 or 11 some of the prior years, so.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
Just on a separate topic, but end with elections, what are we doing? What's the program, the rollout for the new machines?
I think they still had to get tested. I think they're still being like a pilot program with a couple towns for the March election, so I think they'd be bought after the March election.
Okay, so we're not running a pilot, we're just gonna go
No,
based
it's
on
only
that.
only 2 towns, I think, 2 or 3 towns we're testing them. So I believe that was I know it was for November. I think it was for March as well, but I can verify that with Heather. So I think they were gonna be purchased after that,
After the November elect, going into 24, or
after this March election, yeah, going into 2024.
what about, would they be in place for November?
We don't have a,
There's nothing.
February would be the, or maybe.
unless the primaries in
Maybe the
November.
primary will be in November.
Yeah, okay, no, I was correct. So it would be for next year's primary would be our first.
I think so. That's my
Whatever the
understanding.
primary
And that'll
is.
be a relatively light. Not amount of people, but as far as the ballot, it's just gonna be 1 page.
Correct. Yeah, it's not 6, 7 pages,
So
so
it might be light if half the people aren't going.
Yeah,
I don't know how they're gonna place their vote, but
shall find out.
yeah, maybe they'll get to pay for their own election,
Maybe.
whichever party it is. I don't know. All right, so, okay, that's it. Administrative update.
Nothing at this time.
So we're going in non-public.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think.
Ryan, you have anything before we go to non-public? All right,
Jeez. Couldn't even make it 10 minutes.
make the motion, we go under A.
Thanks, chief.
thank you.
second.
Colby. Walker.
Me.
Garazinski.
Aye.
All right, so we're in non-public now, Josh, so you can,
So that's the end of the meeting.
yeah, we're gonna adjourn. after.
Recording stopped.
For all intents and purposes.
You can't leave. You gotta be here for the adjournment.
You don't have to get the camera back.
Just kidding.
Don't do that to me.
See, I told you didn't need the power cord.